Hello and welcome on YouTube. And what's up on Instagram? Dr. Dion Napier with Amplify Vocal Studio. Welcome to you guys, all new followers. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. For those of you all who don't really know me yet, I am an 11-year university trained classical singer turned contemporary online vocal coach to opera singers and bel canto voice teachers. And what I do is help you sing pop music styles without sounding operatic. That's my thing, okay? So welcome, hello on Instagram, you guys who are live. Today, I want to continue a conversation that I had 2 days ago with my mentor and great friend, Sophie Shear-Jones. And we were talking about bridging the gap from classical to commercial. And I want to keep that conversation going. She's not joining me today, but I want to keep that conversation going and just share with you guys some of my why. I talk a lot about vocal cross training. I talk a lot about classical singers, expanding their skill set so they can sing commercial music without sounding like they're on an opera stage. But I just want to share why that's so important to me today, just to give you guys some more background. So the first reason why I'm an advocate of vocal cross training for opera singers, number one, just practically, it's going to make you a higher performing vocal athlete. Okay. So when you cross train, you learn to have a more excellent command over your entire instrument, not just your head voice. So classically trained singers, you all know in that university track, learning to sing classical and opera, we primarily sing in our head voice. It's a lot of head voice dominant singing. And the other parts of our voice, that chest voice, that middle voice, a lot of time, those muscles are weak. And so, we are vocal performers, but we can only perform in the top third of our voice. Like, who does that? Do you know what I'm saying? So just like a regular athlete, they're not just strong, they're also flexible. They have stamina, they have endurance, they cross train, they do different things with their muscles so they can perform higher. And I believe that all singers, and especially opera singers and classically trained singers that went through a university track, should have that same ability as well. Okay, welcome to you guys. I'm gonna wave to y'all. Thank you for joining. Thank you. So that's one practical reason. Now, the second reason that I advocate vocal cross training for opera singers and voice teachers is because I love origins. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean when I say this. When I say I love origins, I have found that, let me just say this first. Bridging the gap from classical to commercial is a pathway back to your organic singing voice. Okay, so here's the truth that you may or may not be aware of. You already are a pop singer. You were a pop singer when you were a kid singing with the radio, mimicking, doing all the stuff you heard on the radio, and you had nobody's formal training. Do you know what I'm saying? So what happened is we go into a university system to train our voice, right? Because we want stamina. We want to be able to sing healthily or sustainably. But what happens is that our original voice, our organic voice gets exchanged. Our cultural heritage, a lot of times, especially if you grew up in the U.S., you didn't grow up listening to opera and classical. More than likely, you were listening to pop music, stuff that was on the radio. But when you went into a university, that had to get laid aside and that got exchanged for a music that was foreign to you, even though you might have liked it. I liked classical music. I liked opera music, but it never felt like home to me. Do you know what I'm saying? So there was an exchange that was made, okay? And so a part of bridging the gap for me from classical to commercial, and as far as what I'm doing in my business, helping you, is to help you go back down that path to restore and recover your origin voice, okay? Its origin, its original intent, its original design. I'm looking at my notes so I don't get off because there's a whole lot that I could say with that. But that's some of the reason why this is important to me. I have seen what it does. I've lived it. And I talk to especially female opera singers a lot in my DMs. And I have seen they have come to me with almost tears in their eyes, and some of them literal tears. Their chest voice has been stripped. They don't know how to access the bottom part of their voice. You know what I'm saying, ladies? You want to sing commercial music, but you got to have the bottom part of your voice intact. You cannot go into commercial with just head voice. But then we try to build the bottom and the middle. Then we dealing with the mindset junk that university told you if you go back and sing with your origin voice, it's unhealthy. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see how they basically like demonize your natural voice? We got to get that back. Okay. So that is a part of why I am such an advocate of bridging the gap from classical to commercial. I want to help you go back to the voice that you've always had. Okay. I hope that's making sense to you guys. And then, excuse me, some other reasons why it's important to me, and this is it, and then I'm going to invite y'all to my traction event, and then I'm done. I just wanted to hop on really quickly, and I can take a couple of questions too. Some other reasons why bridging the gap is important, another practical, is because the opera industry, especially in America, is declining. Okay, so you all that maybe still, you have to know that the university is preparing you currently declining. And so it is vital that you develop a skill set outside of just singing classical music and opera. You need to get some commercial style voice technique and style training. Okay. Another reason why bridging the gap is important to me, and I've kind of already mentioned this, it restores your identity and renews your confidence. When your identity, when you made that exchange, lay down your origin voice to take up what they gave you in university, a part of your identity was connected with that. And that's why some of y'all now don't really know where your voice fits. You have no idea because you did the classical thing. You saw that wasn't really what made you the most excited, and there was not really maybe career opportunity. So you stepped away from that. But that's the last training that you got. As far as your voice, you don't really know where your voice fits anymore. Some of that is because your identity was wrapped up in that classical training thing, and you got to get that back. Okay. So, and it renews your confidence. Okay. A lot of classical singers' confidence just shot with singing. They feel like, oh, I don't know if my voice can change. I've been there. I understand that. You sung classical and opera arias and stuff for so long, and you are so disconnected from that pop sound, that commercial sound in your own voice. But take hope, have heart. It's not the end of the world, and your voice can be retrained. All right. Welcome to you guys who are joining live. And the final two reasons that I'll say that I'm such an advocate of bridging the gap from classical to commercial is going to elevate your creative flow, and it's going to permit you to dream again. I'm talking about dreaming again. For classical singers, opera singers, voice teachers that came through a university program, and the only thing that they made you focus on or steered you to focus on was either the Met or Broadway. Do you know what I'm saying? But maybe that's not the dream of your heart. Maybe that's not what made you feel the most alive. And now you like, I don't know what else. When you go on this journey, bridging the gap back to your origin voice, back to getting commercial style training and getting your commercial voice rediscovered, it's going to empower you to dream again, because you're going to see and hear possibilities that have been suppressed from that academic system. Okay. I'm all about dreaming. I believe that there are sounds, and there are songs, and there are ideas, and there are things that this world needs that classical singers carry, but you have just not been given permission since you've been out of school to let that stuff out, and you lack confidence to let it out because you don't have the skill set to produce and to do what it is that you're hearing in your head and what you see it. I'm all about that. I want you to dream again. I want you to discover God's original design and intention for your life, even around your music gift. And this is what I'll be talking about on day 2 in my Traction 4-Day Masterclass. Excuse me. My Traction 4-Day Masterclass. It starts next Monday, the 13th. It is exclusively for opera singers and classical singers that want to find their modern commercial sound. Okay. Yes, I'm going to be teaching y'all foundations of mix and belt and all of that fun stuff that I really enjoy doing. But on day 2, I'm going to be talking about discovering your purpose as a singer and music educator, uncovering and unlocking what was God's original design for you. Do you know what I'm saying? As a musician, as a teacher, as a singer, what did he have in mind? University set you on some default paths, but God has always had a divine path for you. Do you see? So I'm all about that. I want to equip you both spiritually as well as vocally. Okay. So if that is you, if that sounds like something that you need or something that you're wanting, you can DM me the word traction and I'll send you the link. It is absolutely free. It's 4 days learning some of the basics to get a more modern sound and discovering God's divine purpose for your life. Okay, here's the question. What is the position of the larynx when singing? Neutral, below, or above? What do you best find? How do you best find the mixed voice? Okay, so I'll start with that last question. Coming from a classical singing context, the fastest way to find your mixed voice is to lock into pharyngeal resonance. This is whiny, crybaby, brassy, some of that Ethel Merman. Sorry, I got sinus draining, but it's that that crybaby kind of quality. You have to start incorporating that into your head resonance as well as into your chest resonance, so you can start to get a more modern sound and start to mix, because that's what you're mixing. Okay, when we talk about a contemporary mix, one of the aspects of that is mixing or blending resonances. So you're adding that crybaby, whiny, brassy, pharyngeal resonance into head voice as well as into your lower registers. And then that's how you begin to build your mix. Now, your other question was, what is the position of the larynx when singing? It depends. Usually when you're laying a foundation of what we call a balanced mixed voice, this is like your home base, okay? That basic mixed voice. You want the larynx to be as neutral as possible. Do you know? You want it to be like the level as if you're speaking, okay? That's what you want to go for. So neutral is usually the goal, and depending on what styles you're singing in will determine the larynx height. If you're singing some pop music stuff, a lot of times, sometimes that larynx can be a little higher. If you're singing some blues or some gospel, sometimes the larynx can be a little lower. So it can get into style. But just as we're talking about technique, building the mixed voice technically, you want to go for that neutral larynx as much as you can. That was a good question. Anybody else? What's up, Jennifer? And I see Cole Queen. I see you guys. I'm just going to wave. I don't want to mispronounce anybody's name. Okay, which singing technique would you recommend for modern singing? Maybe speech level singing. Yes, I like speech level singing. Much of my technique is from there, not all of it, but much of the concepts and the principles comes from there. Absolutely. I use my mentor's program, the Mixed Voice Method. That's Sophie Jones. You can look her up. She's got a whole program. She's got stuff. That's who I use. Also, Brett Manning, Singing Success. These Nashville coaches, they got a lock on it, honey. They have fantastic programs. Sorry. I can't see y'all. I'm trying to. Okay, I don't know what happened to my screen. But yeah, they have a fantastic system with Singing Success that's also helpful. And they're based on speech level singing with Seth Riggs as well. So those would be the ones I recommend. Those are the ones that I've used and have gotten success with. For classically trained singers and talking about your divine purpose as a creative. Okay, I'm not seeing any other questions. So, replay watchers, y'all know I always appreciate y'all and my replay watchers on Instagram. You guys can drop questions or shoot me a DM if anything comes up for you. But just really wanted to share my heart today about why I'm so passionate, why I have built a business, why I am building legacy around bridging the gap from classical to commercial. There is an unnecessary divide in universities that exist between classical singers and commercial style singers, and I just don't think it's necessary, and I want to be a part of a solution to help bridge the gap. Okay, so I don't see anything else. I'm going to hop off. Y'all take care. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.